There's no way to be free if you're trying to conform to anything at all whatsoever. If you're trying to conform to an image of being a man or being a woman, if you're trying to conform to an image of being enlightened, or conform to an image of being a yogi, or conform to an image of being a saint or a sinner or a god or a devil, you can't wake up. You will stay in perpetual and eternal suffering. It doesn't matter what your culture says, it doesn't matter what your religion says, it doesn't matter what your society says, what your family says, what anybody says, what your girlfriend, boyfriend, thembo, it doesn't fucking matter what anybody says. Trying to conform to anything is a surefire way of putting yourself into a suicidal condition, and there's absolutely no way out of that except to either do it or to go through the transformation of returning back to your natural self, which will never be condoned or accepted by society, by anybody or anything. Because whoever would condone it or condemn it is operating from a preconceived, prepackaged software programming, which is the past. And the true self is never the past or the future. It's always eternally present and therefore alive, absolutely vivacious, full of the very source of being, and therefore uncontrived, unconcocted, uncreated, simply that which is. And there's nothing you can do about it. It's the truth anyway. This is the source of all alchemy. This is the source of all transmutation. This is the source of all science, all art, all religion, or spirituality. It's the source of everything. And you cannot get here by contriving anything. You have to be willing to say fuck you to absolutely everything without fear. Fear means you're not using that as a means of rejecting or keeping secure or staying safe. It means you're absolutely beyond the need to be safe. The body must be safe. The body has to have safety and security, otherwise it's being buffeted about and the mind is occupied with survival. But even once the body has found a place of safety, the mind still seeks security. And it seeks security through the stabilizing or the crystallizing of images. It will choose an image that it believes that if it conforms to that, it will achieve status, safety, security, or love or appreciation or whatever it might be. But no matter how much you strive to fulfill an image, it's never enough. There's always more. And very soon, without realizing it, just like someone who gets addicted to anything, whether it's drugs or sex or plastic surgery, whatever the addiction is, you very soon, unconsciously, without realizing it, cross that threshold to where you start really becoming a contorted being. You know, at first you get some lip filler and some Botox and some plastic here and there, and you can tell, right? But you might say, oh, well, it looks nice and sculpted or whatever. But then you go in for that fourth or that fifth or that sixth injection, and now you start looking like some kind of a monster, right? And that happens, you know? You start smoking this or doing that or whatever it is, and at first it's like, okay, but very soon, unconsciously, you cross that threshold. Or you go to the gym, you want to get buff. Fine. And then very soon, you have incredible body dysmorphia, you're addicted to substances, you're angry all the time, you're constantly comparing your body to everybody else's, and you're fucking miserable. And so the reason why you wanted to improve yourself was to feel better. And all you're doing by walking that path of needing more, needing bigger, needing better, which is all based on comparison, is you're becoming more miserable and you're suffering. And now you're insufferable, because people who suffer are insufferable. Nobody wants to be around someone who's a constant suffering asshole, who's a constant case of misery. Nobody wants to be around that. Nobody. Because people are all suffering themselves. And people who have seen through suffering say, hey, come here, I can show you. If you're willing to see, I can point out everything about the nature of your suffering, and I can point you directly to that which is beyond suffering, but you have to be willing to see it. And if you're not willing to see it, then you're a fucking nuisance. You're just wasting everyone's time and energy. And so suffering wastes energy. It's a colossal waste of energy. Conformity, coercion, is a massive waste of energy. Trying to conquer and dominate and kill and destroy is a colossal waste of energy. It's stupid. And so you first have to see what a ridiculous thing that is inside of yourself. And everybody who's out there trying to conform to some image or some role is stupid, ignorant, wasting their energy, wasting their lives, wasting their time, chasing shadows and ghosts and phantoms, and you will get nothing out of it. Nothing. Except more fear, more suffering, more hatred, more shame, more guilt, because you will never be good enough. Ever, by the standard of any image, there's always somebody who is more than you, and so you will always feel ashamed. And there will always be somebody less than you, and so your shame will become an excuse to be antagonistic, and you will never be free and happy. So if you want to be free and happy, you must cease chasing images, trying to conform to anything. Return to the natural self and discover that you are already whole and complete and fulfilled in the truth of who and what you really are.